Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of your favorite program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. My name is Ego Sangola, your anchor. On today's program, we're taking a look at some national issues making the round around the country. We'll be taking a look at the suspended CJN of Nigeria, Walter Onnoghen, and of course the subsequent swearing in of the acting CJN by President Muhammadu Buhari. So we'll be taking a retrospective look at these issues: the suspension, the subsequent swearing in. To join me dissect this very crucial issue, I have with me very eminent personalities. I have a clergyman who is also a special advisor to Edo State Governor on Religious Matters, Pastor Ewosa Omori. Nice to have you on the show.
You are blessed, my brother.
Okay. I also have with us a very seasoned politician and media guru, Mr. Isaac Irabo. Nice to have you.
Thank you.
And I have with us a legal practitioner, and of course a chartered arbitrator and a human rights activist in Edo State, Barrister Patrick. Nice to have you on the show.
Yeah, good afternoon, Ewosa, and if you are there, happy day.
Okay, so we'll be looking at suspension of CJN Onnoghen in terms of the retrospect of the whole matter, and of course we'll also be looking at what is happening in Lagos State as we speak. The Lagos State House of Assembly has threatened to impeach the executive governor, Governor Ambode. They've given him ultimatum, and the days are counting. We'll be looking at that also on the program. So welcome on board. So let's get started. Suspended CJN Onnoghen has been in the news. He was suspended by President Muhammadu Buhari, who said the suspension was on the request of the CCT, the Code of Conduct Tribunal. Onnoghen also went to court of appeal to stay proceeding of his trial. But only yesterday, the Court of Appeal did not rule in his favor. In other words, has asked the CCT to continue with the trial of the suspended CJN Onnoghen. The NBA reacted to the suspension of Onnoghen, a 2-day boycott of courts in Nigeria. And of course, we know the impact on litigants, on the judicial services in the country. That ended yesterday. A lot has happened. Nigerians are talking. And of course, we have an acting CJN who the NBA say they will not recognize. We'll be looking at all that. But let's start with the legal practitioner in our midst, Barrister Patrick Onnoghen. Patrick Isiekwene. Barrister Patrick, have you resumed work today?
Yes, work has finally resumed.
Okay. So, you want to tell us your take on all that is happening as regard the CJN Onnoghen who has been suspended and the subsequent swearing of an acting CJN?
Yes. Well, they couldn't have anything like brouhaha or hula balloon. Not like what we're experiencing now.
Yes.
If the president followed due process over the issue of the CJN, well, what I try to say is that our constitution is our instant law. You can never go contrary to it, and that is our guiding principle. Anything contrary to that, it is null and void. Nobody is above the law, including the president. But by virtue of Section 308, the president has immunity against criminal and civil proceeding. You cannot try him now, depending when he leaves office. And that Section 308 cannot be sacrificed. Is guided by that. Now, what I'm trying to say is that, yes, allegations have been preferred against Onnoghen. Yeah, you must follow due process. Yes, yes. You see, but then our constitution make it clear in our by virtue of a law, in our fifth schedule, a law of the Constitution, when the Constitution,
yes,
2011 was amended, our state law,
yes,
that paragraph 21, section B, make it clear that disciplinary recommendation, removal of a judge, it is exclusive of the NJC. You cannot go there. Nobody can go there. Even the court has no powers.
Yes.
It is exclusive. Just like it's 308 immunity of the president. You cannot. So that is the position of the judiciary. It is why it's to protect the separation of powers. Because there are different hands of government. All of Lagos cannot move over Benin. It's an aberration. It's not done. That is the constitution. It's a different arm of government. The president has no control over executive arm of government. It's not. So it depends on manner these things went. That is what led to this ruler balloon and brouhaha. Because the president has not been followed. For me, as far as I'm concerned, whatever is still before the CCT tribunal,
yes,
is what you are having there is incompetent application. Very, very competent. Because you must give recourse to the NJC. It is their duty. What is so is that even the tribunal went ahead to grant an order which you don't even have power to grant. There's not that you have some powers. It's like myself asking the tribunal, oh, allow me to operate my account number, so money, my account number, and that other money is my own. And I also tell the tribunal, under order, praying to them that the tribunal that I will not die in this earth. And secondly, if I won't die, I must enter heaven. The tribunal has no power to grant me the other two reliefs. That is for God. He will send you back. The powers of this tribunal took where they don't have jurisdiction of the NJC. He said the president should swear in the most senior officer in the NJC without taking recourse to the Constitution. You want to go back. Ordinarily, when you raise the issue of plenary jurisdiction in the court, when it's is fundamental, whatever it is, you must step hold on. Because you don't have jurisdiction. You cannot go further. Because whatever pronouncement you give in the matter is illegal, don't avoid. Because this jurisdiction has been raised. It is very well. You must stop. Until jurisdiction is clear, it's the federal principle of law. That when it's clear, before you cannot go ahead. It's like you're in a meeting, a pothole. You say you want to see fly. A pothole, your car with some sort. You hold on. That is the position. Each of the jurisdictions being argued, they're not true with that. They argued motion that very day. At the end of the day, he adjourned, and the ruling was against the Onnoghen. They had the right to appeal. Even the ruling he gave was dissenting judge ruling. One of them disagreed because if you remember the ruling he gave, it's like you are biased. So months ago, when Sylvester just raised the issue before the tribunal, you said based on the appeal, my hands are tied. I cannot go on. I want answer. That's what he did. The same man, the same tribunal chairman, again, this matter again is asserted, it diverted. Then he now said the court order from the industrial court, order from the federal court, they are the same court of something jurisdiction. Then in violation of section 287, go and read it. He said any decision of the court by subordinate must be obeyed by all persons, including court, which is just disobeyed. Section 82 of the Constitution, nowhere we disobeyed. What I said by the rule, your judgment to keep put his hand, you have to appeal. That is the law. On appeal or court of appeal, could have been heard the matter that very day. He now said, oh, the CTC, because the same man was joined there, the same tribunal chairman, was joined as a party. So that whatever action taken by you will not avoid. It's the party in the appeal. At the end of the day, the court of a superior court, it told the lower court, the main tribunal, that, hold on for now, proceeding, pending termination of the appeal before us, wait on the 30th, which is just yesterday. So no matter look at the matter, the court went ahead. Is to be court order. When still going on, control is intentional matter. And see, that's the content of court. Let me tell you, when the court order is disobeyed, you see, it is grievous, that's content of court. But you see, you will be punished, but with some, you will be punished, but not a judicial officer who will be of the law or a lawyer is obeying court order. It is grievous. That's what you just done. He went ahead when the court has told you, hold on, there's other motive. He mainly did, he granted it, which the president rely on what he did. It's more level. It's an aberration in law.
Okay.
See, it's like a judicial coup against democracy. And there is no allowed the NJC to even play the role. The president on his own unilaterally, as if he has power to survive, but that even to the National Assembly, by the Constitution 292, made it clear. The National Assembly thing to anything at all, we go to them and they have a final say. 92, they will have full majority of the House. If they don't get it, you not send it to the president. Oh, so remove. What else do you want? They don't want their own illegality. It's a slap to the Constitution, and such a planet with illegality, a plane that is with illegality should not allow in this planet. It's an aberration. it is forbidden. That is the position of the law.
Okay, now you can see how emotional Barrister Patrick Isekwene is. It's just a reflection of the NBA, who also ordered a boycott of court, 2-day boycott, which elapsed yesterday. So hopefully they are back to work, but we understand that it's just a temporal development. Well, we must also make it very clear here that the Attorney General of the Federation has already forwarded a petition against the suspended CGN to the NJC. And we also understand that the other petition that was initially written against Onnoghen has also been taken to the NJC. And of course, there's a petition against the acting CGN also before the NJC. And they had an emergency meeting on the issue, 7-day, they were given 7 days to respond to the petitions. That's what the NJC has done. While the Federal Judicial Service was asked to look into the matter of the chairman of the CCT, because there's also a petition against the chairman of the CCT. That's the situation. But we'll take a break and then we'll get the response of my guests. And of course, we'll be introducing our third guest on the show. Nice to have you back on the program. It is 60 Minutes Nigeria. If you are just joining us, we are taking a retrospective look at the suspension of the CGN Onnoghen and of course the swearing-in of the acting CGN. Just joining us is a regular face on the program and of course a clergyman, Bishop Fred Agedo. Nice to have you on the program. Okay, now we've gotten the thoughts of Barrister Patrick Isekwene, who is a chartered arbitrator and a human rights activist. Very emotional in his remarks, and it's a reflection of a section of the NBA, because we understand that not all members of the NBA were comfortable with the 2-day boycott of courts. But let's get the thoughts of a very, very seasoned clergyman too, and analyst on the show, Pastor Egosa Amori. Yes, what's your take on this issue that has to do with the suspension of the CGN?
First, let me correct an impression. I'm a senior special assistant to the governor on Christian religious matter.
Okay, thank you.
I've heard from the lawyer.
Okay.
And I want to distance myself from him.
Okay.
Because number one, if we say we are fighting corruption, at that pinnacle of judiciary, corruption ought not to have been mentioned, not to talk about you admitting that you forgot to include 55 houses, 1 billion naira, 18 months salary not touched, and now I will have admitted that you forgot. And the best thing you ought to have done as a responsible Nigerian, because there are people who steal 50 naira who are languishing in Oko prison. There are people who, by extension, pickpocket in a bus stop in Lagos and have been lynched to death. The honest thing to have done would have been to resign, not shopping from one court to the other looking for escape route. This is moral. Everybody's blaming the president. Why did he have to suspend him? Because the mass is fighting corruption. He doesn't care who else is God. Any weapon available at this time must be used to achieve that aim. Just yesterday we had former Secretary of the Federal Government of Nigeria. He's been tried. The former DG Intelligence is being tried. So what are we really talking about? That his own case has become, the most painful aspect about it, we are talking about somebody having such amount of money. And there are evidence on how this money got to that account. And people are just fighting. You can't cry more than they believe. There is no way we should be taking Panadol for under mass ethic. The man admitted, said, oh, I forgot. Admittance in law is that an excuse? If you admit in law, then judge job is lesser for you to handle.
Pastor Mori, let me quickly interject. I'll come back to you. But you keep hearing Pastor Mori talking about that the man said he forgot. Now let me make that perspective very understood by our viewer. Now when you say he forgot, you're talking about declaration of assets. The
Yes.
declaration of asset form that the suspended CJN admitted a part of it that has to do with his domiciliary account. And but then it is believed that whatever is being said here are the opinions of our guests, and whatever the CJ has been accused of, the allegations, and he has not been found guilty by any competent court of law.
We'll
continue with that.
Just to add to what I said.
Okay.
You know, the lawyer, when he was talking, said that his removal is illegal. Has it been removed? He's just been suspended. And that is the honest thing to do. For everyone who is serving, the first thing to do is that you are suspended so that proper investigation should be carried out. You cannot be a judge in your case. You can't still be sitting and be adjudicating for a case that you are a key person in it. He's not been removed, he's just suspended.
Okay, thank you, Pastor Mori. Let's get the thoughts of Mr. Isaac Irabo. You are aware of what is happening. Are you comfortable with the suspension of the CJN, the swearing of the acting CJN? Are you comfortable?
Well, that's really, it's not whether I'm comfortable or not. What people are angered about.
Okay.
It's left even the judicial realm.
Okay.
It came to the common man.
Yes, on the streets.
And also, don't forget, it's an election year.
Okay.
The election is about two and a half weeks from now. And it's unfortunate that it took this coloration. Should never have done. If this thing were done legato, probably there would have been less hues and cries. What I mean is, the way it's been presented, the velocity of action by the executive department, that we've been so efficient and efficacious in this country that you could just accuse someone even without proper service on a Friday and almost a judgment on a Monday. Do you understand? And of course, you know the embers of political here and there campaign, where at the heat of campaign.
Okay.
You want to win. Everyone wants to win, especially the two biggies. They want to win. So, and of course, there's been so much mobilization, incitement, excitement. And you have two juggernauts, titans contesting from the same background, Hausa Fulani, and almost like a fight to finish. And there could have been a few things in the past that lent credence to the present situation. The case of Dasuki, who the courts have granted a reprieve, bail, overtime never got, and also on the heel of the president saying before, I think, a large gathering of even lawyers, that he preferred to deal with security and understand it rather than the rule of law. And the press had really played this thing out of proportion over time, even at the international level. So it became very easy for this thing to take a different coloration. And people have also, now I'm talking as Isaac Irabo, I'm talking as for anyone. I brought myself here. You see, I've been a consultant for a very long time. And if we don't tell people the right thing, We're not being partisan now. This country must grow. We have children who will take after us. This whole idea of extreme right, extreme left won't take us anywhere. I think that's why people have risen up to the occasion. And the way it was done, modus operandi, is that the correct thing? Please correct me if you will, Mr. Lawyer. Right. So this is what has caused another thing. The US, the UK, so it has caused such an uproar. And also, in politics, one of the tools that they learn, not me, is the use of the press, the media, and the art of lying. If I want to finish in politics, I lie against you. I will put such sensitive lies on your head that before you get out of it, it will be most unfortunate. I think all those things have had to play. And of course, the debates are going on. You see, the fight is really on. Yeah. So you can tell that I'm neither here nor there, but on the path that
Mr. Isaac Rabo, are you saying that President Muhammadu Buhari wants to make political gains from the issue of the CJN? Is that what you are trying to concoct?
It is suspected. It is suspected that he wants to ride on this matter. This matter is almost sacrosanct. You have 3 arms of government. No one is superior to the other one. I'm a student and a teacher of political science here in Nigeria and in America. So you see, these are 3 different pillars. You just don't run from, and if you must do it, you must go through due process. Due process. Is this section 292, they say?
Yes, that's for the Senate to top majority.
You don't take a top judicial officer and just run it down like a yo-yo. No. You see, you must do it. You see, that's what I say about some people in government. Party men who don't understand the party. They don't even know what government is all about. They just be brought into a government to come and chop. Buhari is a very good man. But I dare say that many people around him are not very good people. Except, of course, Oshomole. With all due regards. And I will explain Oshomole.
Okay, we'll get back to you. But let's get the thought of Bishop Fred Agedo. What's your take on this? You are a clergyman. What's your take on this?
First, I will not want the church to be dragged into this.
Okay.
I am a bishop, I'm coming.
Yes.
I will not want the church to be dragged into this.
Okay.
Because anytime I come on your program,
yes,
I want to be very holistic.
Okay.
I look at things from the aspect of the church.
Okay.
And the way the church feels.
Yes.
But from what I've heard, from what I've read, and from the feelers outside, I could tell you that there was a case in the Bible where a woman committed an adultery. And it was brought to Christ for condemnation. And that's the reason why Jesus came. That sin, we must refrain from it. And Jesus said, if there's anyone among you that have never, did what this woman have done, cast the first stone. And everybody dropped their stone. Why? They've judged themselves. That we have all sinned and fall short of the glory of God. So now politics is added to this. The APC will say their own, the PDP will say their own. I am not just here and I'm not interested in it. The truth is, there is trouble in our nation. The foundation is broken. What can the righteous do? Things has gone soured. Everyone is aware of what is happening. We are all pretending, except those who little peanuts are still running in their hand. But thank God I'm a bishop. I have grown beyond that. So when I'm in the studio and I'm talking. Because I know no matter what, there is an adage in Benin language that no matter the year's rainfall, who will not go to the river will not go. So for me, there is hunger in the land, there is cry in the land, and at the time this thing is done, that is why it's all over in the street. The market women are aware that the Onnoghen suspension is wrong at the time it takes place. And the voice of men sometimes may not be the voice of God, but sometimes God will say, I've heard the cry of my people. So who have not sinned among all these persons? Let all the people in power, before they got the word they got, what they have now, let them declare it. They are set now. They let Nigerians judge. And when Nigerians judge at this point, I'm sure I was on this studio when the present government come into power that was having 1 million naira in account. But before campaign, more than 100 and something million would. How did it come? Let us not judge them. Let us not judge them. Something is wrong. Something is wrong in the sense that if everybody in the street is crying, there is no food, there is taskmaster everywhere, and we are not still talking of corruption. Well, what is the meaning of corruption? I said that in this studio some time ago. Somebody said I was wrong of saying it. I said the day I knew that the present government may not get it right was the day he just come on board and said he was going to fight corruption. I said he would have said war against indiscipline, which he brought before. Because no man can fight corruption. For we are all corrupt. Me, bishop in the pulpit, we are all corrupt.
That's true.
And we have fallen short of the glory of God. It was the day Adam ate the forbidden fruit. That was where corruption entered us. It's a part of us. It's in our bloodstream. It's inside. No man. Anybody who pretends that he can do is telling lies before heaven and earth. We have all sinned. We have all sinned. So let me rest it there. The church has no part in this, whether judiciary, presidential, whatever they call it. The church has no part in it. But we are saying the church is no longer running well. If you are a man of God on the pulpit, declare and tell the people what is happening in the land, that sin has taken over our nation.
And we need a change.
And we need a change.
Okay, thank you, Bishop. Satirical. You could see the style that the bishop is trying to explain. And if you listen to him carefully, you will understand where the point is making. But let's get Barrister Patrick Isekwene. Yes.
So, as regard the Mr. Mori position, because from my statement, he reacted.
Yes.
And by law, I have the right to reply.
Okay.
Now, so Mr. Morris, I say you are entitled to your opinion, but not to the facts. Now, I think it's not good. That's what we kind of call mislead the public. Like something like, oh yes.
Can you just make your point?
I'm not just saying, okay. Like, we have a way like this. The trial of the trial in court, I can't comment on because it's not on my table.
I understand. Yes.
Because even when they said, please, there was never a time the CJ admitted anything. He made public on this matter. Never. There was never time they said 5 houses was found.
No, he didn't admit that. But the issue of the form, declaration of asset form, that's what Omori was talking about.
Declaration.
Yes.
He did not include.
No, you said the houses. 5 houses.
Is it 5?
Please. Such a thing is not mislead the public. Never occurred. As far as
are you his lawyer?
The CJ I never make any statement on this issue.
Elderly people will not deny that fact.
Let me talk now. I like you when you were.
Please go on, Patrick. Yeah.
Please don't mislead the public.
You make your own point.
Just make your point.
He never made of that nature. Up to today, he never. He said, "You judicial office, I can't do that." So what I'm trying to say is that should be disregarded, flowing from you. Never allow the judicial to do their work. What I always say that the process was not followed. That's what I'm after. Each of the trial before the court. But each of the trial before the court, what can do? I said, I've been in jail. The process is illegal, unconstitutional, and what I can make is not avoid. So the issue is that I let the issue to indicate the way it is. Let the tribunal do their work. I'm not the tribunal chairman, so I cannot say why you have to so let me leave that.
Okay, but now the Court of Appeal has dismissed the stay, the motion. Okay, so Onnoghen will go to court now. We'll go to CCT now.
So yes, that's right.
So you think it's proper now?
Yes, it's proper. That's right. So what I'm trying to say, what you like about he said that the Babalawa was just being tried now.
Yes.
It's an afterthought. Wait now, it's an afterthought. 2 weeks ago, the president told you that Baba has no case to answer. If I have any case of corruption, we will bring it. Let's see.
Are you not also quoting now?
Excuse me. What to say the truth?
Say what you
Pastor Patrick, I must interject here. Thank you. Okay.
But now again, let me leave that.
Yes.
So then, for me, I think it's an afterthought. It's just a Carolina attempt to balance it. That's what is happening now. Because there are so many of them. These are the ones for.
You are just assumption. You are assumption.
Okay.
So the issue is that whatever action is being taken now by the executive, I'm not bothered because by virtue of section 14, it is clear. It said Nigeria is the country which shall build on democracy and social justice. And B said that this I said that sovereignty. Nigeria is a sovereign country, and the sovereignty of this country belongs to the people. In which the constitution and the government draws power from. The people, the monarchs are supreme. They are sovereignty. They are supreme. They can revise anything revisable. It is left for them to decide this case.
Thank you, Barrister Patrick. Now the issue is we're going to come to yes.
Let me just add this.
Okay, Pastor.
I know you are a lawyer.
Yes.
Justice Kayode Osho.
Okay.
Have you forgotten the case where he also said Onnoghen was corrupt when he was the High Court judge in Rivers? Are you aware?
But we cannot judge Onnoghen here. No. We cannot judge Onnoghen.
We are talking about the blood that flowed through him.
We cannot judge
the
him.
blood that flowed through him. Because what we are saying, why would the president act the way he acted?
Yes.
Now, morality, let me see something.
Okay.
There's an adage in our place that a man found a snake and a woman killed the snake. I was killed. Doesn't really matter.
So far the
snake died. So now, corruption has shown his face, glaring. And the man now used the sledgehammer to hit.
But we are not in we are not
I don't know.
Okay.
Now, you see, let me tell you. You see, when you call sin,
yes.
Sin.
It's not territory.
When you call sin his name, you will not commit sin.
Because you have not told you.
So we are not talking about this. It's better because the law, the court said to him.
When the woman commits
Bishop Fred, please allow him to talk.
The court gave him the right to do what he did. He said so. The CCT court said to him, he should act. And he acted. So he did not act on his own. He acted based on a judgment from the court.
No, can I just quickly?
Okay, yes.
You see, you see, I can see emotion on both sides. Thank God I'm not on a hot stool.
No.
But let me quickly tell you, even when you just mentioned now, snake killing, blah, blah, blah. But no, how do you kill the snake?
Yeah, that's the issue.
There is a proviso.
Okay.
That you have to use stick or use hand.
You know,
You have to use stick or hand.
No. We're talking about the Chief Justice of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
But the law, the judge, the CCT.
Nigeria is a first. Listen, Nigeria is a first-class country
In the world.
in the world.
Yes.
You make yo-yos out of us.
Global embarrassment.
If you have privilege to travel around the world, and the apogee that we're being rated, you see a Nigerian and any immigration like that is a Nigerian. You see our women, that is a Nigerian woman. Don't bring us to this level. Powers that you don't have, you're taking it and talking as an individual.
Yes, we
For
understand.
this great country, Nigeria.
Yes.
Not that APC or PDP or any party.
EPS.
Honor for Nigeria. There is the ground norm, which is the Constitution.
Yeah.
It says how you remove a governor, how you remove a local government chairman, how you remove, there's a process. Yes. You don't even have to do it. You have an attorney general.
Yes, I will do that.
They do it. He can tell you, oh, no, sir, we can still,
Do it this way.
you want me to do this, but let me do it, sir.
Yes.
Our own way, so that you will not be,
Lack
probium,
Yes.
So that is where the lacuna is.
I'm sure.
And so we must temper our,
Thank you, Mr. Isaac Rabo. I hope you are enjoying the program. Whatever is being done here is geared towards bringing development to our dear country. You must understand that from that perspective. Pastor Omori has also made his point clear. He has shown how he eschews corruption. He has just shown that he doesn't tolerate corruption in any guise. But Barrister Patrick Isekwene is making the point that there is need to follow due process For the lawyers, they expected that whatever has to do with any judicial officer should be referred to the NJC. That's their clamor, which has been done now. The petitions are before the NJC, and 7 days, the suspended CJN is expected to reply to his to the allegations raised against him. The acting CJN is also to reply. There's a petition against him. The chairman of the CCT, there's petition against him, and the Federal Judicial Commission, his own petition has been referred there, and they will also handle that. So that's due process that they are all clamoring for. Bishop Fred Agedo has talked about also the issue of maybe a systematic approach to the fight against corruption. And we've also seen what Mr. Isaac Irabo has also said, that yes, before the international community, we need to do things right. The EU has reacted. The United States government has also, United States consulate has also reacted, and the UK has also reacted, and they are just advising that the government do things the proper way to avoid violence, because it is very close to the election. 16th of February will be the presidential and National Assembly elections, and Nigerians are really waiting for that. Well, we'll move on to the next issue, and that is another very, very important one. As in Lagos State, have threatened to impeach Governor Ambode. That is a very serious issue. Only yesterday, we saw a crowd of protesters who went to the State House of Assembly protesting against that move. But the lawmakers say Governor Ambode has not presented the budget and is already spending money. So they are accusing him of gross misconduct. Because of time, we may not be able to listen to the speaker, but let's just quickly react to it, because that's exactly the situation. And we'll start with Pastor Mori. Now, Governor Ambode is being threatened with impeachment. Impeachment process is on, and he's being accused of misconduct, gross misconduct. Do you think this is right?
Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
I believe that Governor Ambode is just a victim of interplay of political forces. At the time we lost the second bid attempt,
Yes.
it's like he just on his own felt that he was no longer needed. So issues concerning the governance of Lagos State began to go on a low scale. Even as I speak to you, if you get to Lagos now, the whole streets are littered with deaths, no clearance. The government is just on a slow lane. Even people who are supposed to attend to traffic, they are no longer functioning. Everybody just docile. So I believe that it is a fallout of the interplay of political forces.
Thank you. Isaac Irabo.
Well, it is unfortunate that things have gone this, is it horrid or awful? It must be one of both. But it's like the Reverend gentleman said, is an interplay, political forces by politicians, whether it's the Ambode himself or Tinubu or the people of the different local governments of Lagos State. But the way that Tinubu, Ambode,
Governor
rose
Ambode
out of this thing, it was quite gregarious. No victor, no vanquished. And Buhari gave him and Tinubu fair hearing. And for me, I thought the wahala was over. But if it's going to rear its ugly head, then, and don't forget that Ambode had garnered a lot of support in Lagos, so much so. You saw even the day after he was threatened and all the rest of it, how people are behaving, of course, what he's just mentioned. His own party now, which is still the APC, is got to be very, very careful.
Yes, yes, yes.
Tinubu himself has to be very careful too, because the kind of upgrade he had made financially and by way of power has become so big that he does have a lot of enemies in the polity, so that they don't sacrifice APC in this whole matter.
Thank you. Bishop Fred Agedo, your quick one.
Well, I weep for Nigeria, and I weep for people who know the truth and decide to sell the truth. I really weep for them. As good as Ambode, this is not an issue to bring up at a time like this. And I see APC failing in Lagos if they go beyond this. It's like somebody telling me that Obaseki have not tried in Edo State, that they want to change Obaseki. They will know that the people who instigate that, they just want the downfall of their political party. That is Mr. Wake and See. And he has been able to really show to us that he's competent on what he's doing. Ambode is the best governor in Nigeria. Go to Lagos, go and see what happened in Lekki. Go and look at what happened in Ekpe. Go and look at what is even going on in what they call it, Bega and all the rest part of Lagos. So, and Lagos people really love Ambode because he's man of the people. Why will the political leaders in the state not be aware of this? The man has been a very successful man, as the governor of Edo State is doing. Now, I can't talk for the federal government. I can talk for Edo State government. I tell you that truth, and that I can do. If Edo State House of Assembly makes such a move,
let's talk about the Lagos that concern us. Yes.
The Lagos yes. There is a spirit pushing there that APC will lose Lagos.
Yes.
APC may lose Lagos if they go beyond this week.
Now, because of okay, let's get Patrick.
Yes.
What's your reaction?
Before I continue, just excuse me.
Please go straight to the point. Go straight to the point.
Bishop Fred says one thing which touched me. Sir, Bishop Fred, when he closed in the former issue, he said everybody should declare their assets. If you kill this, they kill it very well. I believe.
And remove the head.
Now, like the president, I just CJ now, I just violated section 2 of the Constitution.
We say that. Let's go to the Lagos.
We say that before you perform any judicial official, you must declare your assets. They not declared it, start performing his duty. They violated it. Very, very.
It's not a substantive.
Acting.
Talk like a lawyer.
Pastor Patrick, thank you.
I'm telling you
something. Pastor Patrick, no, we'll come back to you. We have to quickly take a break now. We'll take a break now, and after that, we'll get the thoughts of our guests.
Thank you.
Nice to have you back. Now, the legislators in Lagos, they are threatening to impeach Ambode. Gross misconduct, part of the accusation, financial impropriety, another allegation. Said he has not presented the budget, he's spending it. What's your take,
Yes, I think what's happening in Lagos.
Okay.
Is the handiwork of some political gladiators and buccaneers pushing the political system. That brand you are seeing, that is your thing. But you see, I have two opinions. Now, the case of impropriety, misconduct, I will not tolerate that. You are aware when our president even took money, about 380 million, 400 to the purchase of hand for to America without recourse to the Senate here. I condemn in totality. It's a misconduct, it's a picture of offense. So same thing, they are not saying that he has started spending money without the recourse to the house. They did not approve. It's a misconduct. If that is true, and again, he spent the boss, he said he bought 70 million for one. In about 70 million. They disagree with him. And again, the money, about 22 billion of the project transport issue. This is a ratio. If it's true, I think issue of impeachment is a constitutional thing. They have a right to do so. But if it's just a way of Abakadam to get what they want, no. But the also raised the issue that they said they need 420 million for the elections. The man said, I won't do that. I won't do that. I think that is a counter position. So if it's true that what the governor did what I just named initially, it should be impeached. But if it is not doing, no, that impeachment cannot stand. That is the.
Okay, these are all allegations. Yes. Well, we must reiterate again on this program that the comments here are the personal opinions of our guests and not that of independent television and radio. Okay, now quick one, parting words because we don't have time. Pastor Egosa, your parting words on the program.
Well, I wish Nigeria the best.
Okay.
As we approach election, today is the last day of January.
Yes.
So by tomorrow we are in February.
The election
So
month.
I pray that the month of February will be peaceful in Nigeria. The month of February will be the best ever Nigerians ever. Because you see, my fears, I know that God has already addressed it. There shall be no killing, no, no evil,
violence.
No violence. The idea of talking about the security apparatus, we play double game. It can never happen. God will be there for this country. God loves this country.
Thank you very much. Yes, a quick one, sir.
Yes, I just want to mention that we as politicians must learn to do things right. That's the only way, because the political class, we are less than 10%. We leave 90% to the public. And unless we explain whatever we're doing to people well, because they are watching, doing nominations, some will say consensus, some will say direct whatever. Do these things well. Because if you nominate, I'm just saying, a candidate properly, at the elections you don't have too much problem. But when you go behind closed doors and do this, I'm not able to say what I want to say.
Yeah.
Do things the normal way. Go through normal process. I also quickly, sir, I mentioned Onnoghen, so I don't get misunderstood.
Yeah, but we don't have the time.
When you employ somebody to do a job as the chairman of the party, and he does that job, sometimes some people get hurt.
Thank you very much.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Mr. Ezekabo. Thank you.
I want to congratulate you. You've done a very good
Thank you. Bishop Fred, please, just a quick one. We don't have the time.
Nigerians and Edo people get it. This is the mind of God. It could be personal, because people have called me prophet of doom. 2019, there must be war before Georgia will come. If we must change things, get ready for anything. For the kingdom of God will definitely suffer violence, and the violent will take it by force.
Yeah, I know you want to interpret it. Yeah. You are not saying there is going to be violence, but you are only making a point that we should do things right.
Right. Yeah. So
okay.
that there will be no
violence. I think that's what
is
Bishop
exactly
Fred.
What it is.
Thank you. Thank you.
Careful.
Yeah, the bishop has just said people should do things right to avoid violence. We don't want violence during the election. That's what the bishop has said. Well, Patrick Sekwene, thank you for your participation. You've made your comments already. You've made your comments. Thank you, Bishop. Thank you, Azikirabo and Pastor Omori. We don't have time. That's the program for this week. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.